Kids who are changing the world. Introduction. The world is a big place and it is filled with amazing people and places. It also has many problems. Some of those problems are challenging. Even grown-ups have a hard time figuring out how to solve them. So how can one kid do it? Is it really possible for a kid like you to change the world? An African proverb says, if you think you're too small to make a difference, you haven't spent the night with a mosquito. The kids in this book know that you're never too small to start changing the world. Chapter 1. Meet Shaquille Naeem Jackson. Shaquille Naeem Jackson was only 5 years old when he learned about a problem in his community. Shaquille's aunt took him to help hand out soup and chili to people in Chicago who were homeless. He said that he saw how they lived with rats and sleeping bags on the concrete and wanted to help in some way ever since. Shaquille wished he could buy or build a home for every person who needed one. That would be a lot of homes, too many for one boy to build. One recent study showed that in Chicago, thousands of people live without a home, and more than 500,000, which is 500,000, people in the United States are homeless on a typical night. The problem of homelessness is huge and complicated. Shaquille didn't let that stop him from finding a way to help. He knew he couldn't build houses yet, but he could fill bags. When Shaquille was 8, he started making blessing bags for homeless people. The stuff that's in the blessing bags are tissues, soap, water, deodorant. Shaquille explained. Usually stuff that can help them in their everyday activities. At first, Shaquille made a few hundred bags. He filled the bags with the help of his friends, his family, and his classmates at Ray Elementary School. Then they put the bags into his godfather's truck and headed off to hand them out. Those first trips only made Shaquille want to do even more. With the help of his family, Shaquille started a foundation called Project I Am. Now he works with other groups in the community so he can get blessing bags to even more hands. In 2017, when Shaquille was 10, he decided he wanted to give out 5,000 blessing bags. He reached his goal and more. Some of Shaquille's blessing bags went far beyond Chicago to hurricane survivors in Florida, Texas, and Puerto Rico, and to orphans in Swaziland, Africa. Former President Barack Obama heard about Shaquille's work and wrote about him on social media. All across America, people choose to get involved, get engaged, and stand up. Each of us can make a difference, and all of us ought to try, he wrote after telling people about Shaquille's blessing bags. For his work, Shaquille received an award that is given to 25 young people a year who are making a positive difference in the world. He was honored with the 2017 Gloria Barron Prize for Young Heroes, along with $5,000 that he put into Project I Am. Shaquille was beyond excited to receive such an honor. I went screaming all the way from my room and back to the living room, he told his hometown newspaper, the Chicago Tribune. I want to make sure people in need aren't just unknown, he added. I think homeless people, most people don't recognize them and walk past them and drive past them. I want to let people know that homeless people are people too. Shaquille hasn't given up on his dream of building houses for the homeless either. He learned about a program in Detroit that builds tiny homes for the homeless. He wants to help get a movement like that started in Chicago. "I want to build one with my bare hands," Jaquil told a reporter. "I want to see how that feels." He also wants to get more kids in more cities to make their own blessing bags. Jaquil and his parents created starter kits that they send to schools and groups through the Project I Am website. The site says it cost about $9 to make each blessing bag. Jaquil wants every kid to understand what he's learned. You don't have to wait until you're an adult to be great. You can be great now. Do you want to help with the problems of homelessness like Jaquil does? You can join his blessing bag mission. You can do other things too. Here are a few ideas. With the help of a parent or caregiver, donate clothes you don't need to a local shelter. They should be clean and in good condition. Ask your friends to bring various food items or supplies for blessing bags to your birthday party instead of presents. Then donate them to a local homeless shelter. Start a food drive in your class or school and send the food to a local food kitchen. So chapter 2. Meet Natalie Hampton. The problem with bullying is personal to Natalie Hampton because she was a victim of it. The bullying that Natalie went through started with 5 simple words. "You can't sit with us." When Natalie started a new school in 7th grade, she thought it would be easy to make new friends. She soon found out she was wrong. She didn't fit in. Her classmates were not just unfriendly, they were mean. "You'll never have any friends," the kids told her. Natalie isn't alone. Research shows that about 1 in 3 U.S. students in grades 6 through 12 have experienced bullying. Being a victim of bullying can make you sad, nervous, and anxious. Natalie began to have stomach aches and nightmares. She started to lose hope that life would ever get better. Finally, after 2 very tough years, Natalie transferred to a new school. There, she tells it, one student made all the difference. "A boy stopped me in my school hallway to ask if I needed help finding my classes," Natalie said at the beginning of her TED Teen Talk. A TED Talk is a short, powerful talk, usually 18 minutes or less, devoted to spreading important ideas in technology, entertainment, and design. So, TED. When the boy offered to help Natalie, that's when she learned that a simple act of kindness can make a difference in someone's life. It only took that one student to change hers. Natalie could have just moved on in her new school with her new friends, but she knew the problem was bigger than just her experience. She wanted to help solve it. Natalie believed that eating lunch alone was a symbol of how isolating bullying can be. At her new school, she invited other students who were sitting alone to her table. "Even though I was easily able to help the kids within my own school community," Natalie said, "I wanted to do something more." She started to think of ideas to help the problem. She didn't really know how to code, but she decided that creating an app would be the best way to get the message to a large number of kids. Natalie started drawing ideas in a notebook. Then she worked with a professional coder to create the app. After months of testing, Natalie's app, called Sit With Us, was ready to meet the digital world. Sit With Us is a free mobile app that helps kids find other kids to sit with at lunch. Students download it onto their phones. Some can become ambassadors. They are the ones who invite anyone who doesn't have a place to sit to join them. Through the app, students look for ambassadors so they don't have to sit alone at lunch. Because it's private and all done through the phone, none of the other students know who is asking, and the students looking for a place to sit know that they won't be rejected. Natalie's idea and her app spread like wildfire. More than 100,000 people are using Sit With Us in at least 8 countries around the world. Natalie was named one of the most influential teen social entrepreneurs who have found a solution or idea that addressed a basic human need. She won an award from the United Nations Youth Assembly and got to deliver a speech in the UN's General Assembly Hall. At the end of her TED Teen Talk, Natalie said, "All it takes is one person to change the world, and that person, starting right now, is you." So what can you do to make the world and your school a kinder place? You can start by taking Natalie's lead at lunchtime. If you see a kid sitting alone, ask him or her to join you. It's important to treat everyone with kindness and respect. Here's how. Think about what you say. If you don't know if it would hurt someone's feelings, even if they're not a friend or not in the same room, don't say it. Remember that everyone is different. That doesn't mean they're better or worse, just different. Respect that. If you see someone being bullied, you don't have to confront the bully. Just interrupt. Talk to the victim, even if he or she isn't a friend, and help them get out of the situation by inviting them to join you.